Okay, so here we've got the ingredients of the Easy Italian. So it looks like there's quite a lot of stuff there, but it's actually really simple. We've basically got basil, oregano, some thyme and some parsley. We've got garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper. And that's all the spices. I've spread them out so they look pretty, basically. But there's not as much spices or herbs as there is piles. And then we've got pasta. We've got passata. You could use tinned tomatoes. You can also add in some fresh tomatoes. And today I'm going to chuck in some butter beans as well, but it's entirely up to you. You could throw in mushrooms, you could throw in pretty much anything extra that you've got in your fridge. Those were straight out of the freezer, but you could obviously use tinned beans as well. So that's the basic ingredients for the Easy Italian. So let's get cooking. Okay, so the first thing that we do, get our chopped tomatoes or passata, pop it in a saucepan, turn the heat on, medium-low's fine, get that heated up nicely. And then we add all of our spices and herbs. Obviously you'll probably be doing this one at a time. That's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter what order you add them in. We'll throw them all in. This will make an absolutely delicious, rich Italian tomato sauce. So all of those go in there. We'll give it a nice good stir together. Make sure it's nice and evenly mixed whilst you're heating it up. Now, what you add in next is entirely up to you. Some people like to add in any kind of beans. Other people would like to add in perhaps some mushrooms. Just bear in mind that mushrooms probably take a little bit longer to cook. So if you're putting mushrooms in, you might want to cook them separately first before you throw them in here. That'll speed things up. So we want this to be nice and easy and simple. So beans are great because they're already pre-cooked. So I'm going to throw all of those in there. So that's about 2 cans of beans. For those that are cooking their own beans, it's about 480 grams. So those go in there. And now the other thing that I quite like to add, olives. So I'll throw all the olives in there. Now I have rinsed the olives so they're not full of brine because we've already put salt into the sauce. Didn't want to add more salt from the brine, so I rinsed those in some water, strain them off and then pop those in there. So there's a few other things that you might like to do. I quite like to grate some sweet pepper into there, some bell peppers, but you can put some paprika in if you don't have any peppers or you're in a rush. So put a teaspoon of paprika in. So that's kind of really optional, depending what you've got in your cupboard and what you've got in your fridge. And the great thing about this is you could probably put leftovers from your fridge in there as well, and use up stuff that needs eating. So there you go. So that will now, I'll bring that to a simmer and that will cook. I probably only need to simmer it for 5 minutes, to be honest, but depending how much you want the flavours to be infused into the dish, you might want to simmer it for a bit more. So now that's going, we'll check the pasta and see how the pasta's getting on. And then once everything's all cooked, we'll mix it all together. Okay, so this has been simmering for probably about 10 minutes whilst I was making a lovely salad. And the pasta's already cooked, so we throw it all in together and give it a lovely mix through. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. And do check out our channel for more recipes and forthcoming news. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell button to be notified of future recipes. So some final tips: if you find you're running out of tinned tomatoes, then you can use tomato puree and a bit of hot water instead. Also, if you love garlic, then feel free to add some extra garlic powder or some fresh garlic.